Good afternoon and welcome to the industry's weekly video news bulletin. Play Print21 from the people who know print. This week's issue sponsored by Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest distributor of printable materials and consumables. This week's news is led by carbon neutral operation Mystique Print, which operated from this building behind me. Sadly, it gone into voluntary liquidation, with the company, which operated here from Rowville and Surrey Hills in Sydney, set to be wound up. Unsecured creditors are owed $681,000, $173,000 due to preferential creditors, $91,000 in secured debt to the NAB. Print21 understands the customer list has been bought by another Melbourne print business, with Mystique's 13 staff moving over to that buyer. Of the $681,000 owed to unsecured creditors, the ATO is almost half, $300,000. Two big paper merchants owed $93,000 between them. Various Green family members owed $140,000 and $110,000 owed to various trade suppliers around Melbourne here, $30,000 to Amex. The business, which ran two B2 offset presses, suffered, of course, along with the whole Victorian commercial sector during COVID, and then had issues with its landlord of 15 years who wanted to jack up the rent. Really tough news. It's been an environmental pioneer business, owner Darren Green, championing an eco-friendly business over the whole of its 31 years of trading. In other news, Print New Zealand has launched the Print It in New Zealand campaign, encouraging local printers to display the campaign logo to brands with their work and for their clients to proudly show that work was printed in New Zealand. According to Ruth Cobb, CEO of Print New Zealand, the Print It in New Zealand logo also offers the opportunity for print work to remain in the country. She said the issues created in supply chain delays on the back of COVID-19 has already seen some print work come back to New Zealand, and we want to try and keep it here and build on that, she said. Told Print21. The Printed in New Zealand logo will be available to Print New Zealand members for a small one-off setup fee. It will carry a member identity number, so it will be able to track back to the member and to avoid unauthorised use. Cobb says that once the logo is paid for, it can be used on any work by the printer with their client's consent, of course. The logo will then learn to be asked for relevant jobs. In other word news, Coleman Print is doing its part to help create a sustainable future with the installation of a new solar panel system, allowing the event signage company to use renewable energy for its operations, 50%. Installation is underway on the 300 new roof panels at Strathfield premises. It will generate around 50% of the company's energy needs. Rod Peter, Managing Director of Coleman Group, said net zero is where we want to be as a company, running on a circular economy, circular system with lots of sustainable initiatives. We definitely have a push to become a carbon neutral company. High-profile Centrum Print CEO Sandra Duarte is set to move on from the business next month and is looking to take up new opportunities in the new year, not necessarily in print. Duarte has been at Centrum for 13 years as the company pivoted from a general commercial printer into a trade display and packaging operation. She was general manager for much of that time before taking on the managing director's role or title 2 years ago. Well, the role actually remained broadly the same, she said. Centrum, of course, owned by Percy and Linda Vidge. Duarte said, "It's time for a change for me. I've been here for a long time. I feel like I've taken the business as far as I can, and it's time for someone new to come in and take it to the next level." In other news, trade association Real Media Collective is preparing for its end-of-year annual general meeting. It will be raising the industry discussion to focus on COP26 commitments across carbon net zero emissions and deforestation targets, and they will lead the agenda next year. AGM takes place in Sydney next Friday. You'll need to register to attend. Finally, after months of being shut for business, the Penrith Museum of Printing will once again open its doors to the public 5th of December, Saturday, and to celebrate the reopening, families can go in for free on the day. The museum, which earlier this year celebrated 20 years of existence, has been deep cleaned, the machines have been fired up, and COVID protocols are fully in place in anticipation of the museum's first visitors coming through the door. That's it for this week's issue of Play Print21. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories in detail and more. Thanks to our sponsor Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest distributor of printable materials and consumables. This is Wayne Robinson signing off. Enjoy your freedoms.